Why is gold so expensive? The true value of gold. Traders and investors have repeatedly asked the question, why is gold so expensive? This is understandable considering how nations' currencies are weakening against gold in recent times. It is in the history that civilization across the globe, over the millenniums, were enamored with this beautiful metal. Ancient Assyrians and Egyptians considered gold a precious metal. Why is gold so valuable from generation to generation? The source of gold. According to scientists, gold is not something that came around recently. Humans met it here. Gold came to us about 3.9 billion years ago after two neutron stars in space collided. The collision produces atoms of gold that turned into meteorites, which eventually crashed into the Earth. The result of this was the bubbling of hot molten nuggets of gold toward the Earth's surface. This explains the discovery of gold flakes found in Paleolithic caves, estimated to have been around 40,000 years ago. That was the first human contact with gold. The source of gold as an ancient beautiful element may provide the answer to the question, why is gold so expensive? Its uses. The uses of gold are also crucial to the question, why is gold so expensive? Gold has many uses globally. To a layman and crude goldsmiths, gold is always had for ornamental uses. Jewelry makers, dentists, pharmacologists, electronics manufacturers, and aerospace engineers all find uses for gold in their businesses to fill the needs of humanity. The impressive look of physical gold alone is enough to give it the value it commands. Taking it from the angle of its universal appeal, gold will always be valuable regardless of how the commodities market is doing. In the market, gold can be bought as an investment to be sold in bullion. E-gold is a lucrative investment that comes in two forms of coins and bars for the consideration of investors. Investors can find in gold the kind of security that they cannot find when they invest in fiat currencies. All these may also explain why gold is so expensive. Declining value of currencies. The value of currencies has a direct bearing on the value of gold. When paper currencies appreciate, gold price drops and vice versa. In recent years, however, many paper currencies are being devalued. That is why gold is so expensive. The real value of gold has remained constant even through the market price of gold has increased drastically. It takes more dollars, pounds, euros, and yen to buy the same ounce of gold, which will be used for essentially the same thing. There was a time when the world's currencies were in gold standard. Up till about 4,000 years ago, the gold standard system that was being measured out prevented inflation being witnessed in today's worldwide. Even when paper money was introduced after thousands of years of using coins, tying the currencies to precious metals stabilized the value. When countries started drifting from the gold standard, the world started seeing devaluation of currencies. This trend continues to give gold more value than it really possesses. That is why investors are turning to gold to prevent their wealth from dwindling. They reason that if all money systems, including paper money, fails, gold will retain its intrinsic value. Financial markets continue to clamor to buy gold. Trading in gold. Investors' business ingenuity also is increasing the value of gold. Investors have always believed that the value of gold will increase. There is always a rush towards gold. The simple law of demand and supply naturally comes to play here. The higher the demand for gold, the higher the price of gold. As a long-term investment, people are always after it to preserve their wealth. Those investors have never regretted their actions for years. The true value of gold. As observed earlier, the value of the dollar was based on gold. For instance, between 1792 and 1932, an ounce of gold was at a constant rate of $20. An executive order of 1933 prescribed the ownership of gold. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the order to curtail the outflow of gold from banks so that the economy could be stimulated. That move made gold more valuable. In 1974, the proscription was repealed and gold could be processed by individuals willing and able to do so. Efforts to keep the prices of gold at $35 for 1 ounce was successful till around the early 1970s, when President Gerald Ford gave an order from the market price to determine the price of gold in full deregulation. The price of gold could no longer be watched. The price of gold moved up exponentially, so much so that in 1980 it sold for around $600. Even though it has fluctuated ever since, gold had sold for $1,735 for 1 ounce in 2020. I hope the above analogy is enough to explain why gold is so expensive. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe, comment, and turn on the notification bell.